Hi, I'm Patty Rappa, reporting here from Hollywood, and it's Social Media Week this week.
That means Hollywood's finest are coming out to talk shop about social media, strategies, and techniques. And I am here at the Paley Center for Media in Beverly Hills, listening to an expert panel that represents celebrities of all things, sharing how they use Twitter and some of these other social tools to reach out in a very unique way.
The problem is that the challenge now is not, delivering quality for value or figuring out that equation. The challenge now is rising above the noise.
Yes.
Right. It's actually, it is that everybody has a different economic model in mind. Right. There are people that are doing it for the attention. Right. There are people that are doing it for fun. There are people that are, doing it for money or for some other exchange.
Celebrity networks online was really having kind of two different approaches to working with the brands versus working with the talent, and then two different approaches in terms of the separation of those content streams. So we have about 15 celebrity networks that are live right now, another 30 that will be launching over the next few months. And basically what we'll do is we'll launch a website for them on this social platform that we've built. We'll hook into their Twitter, their Facebook, their YouTube, and across that entire distributed network, we'll publish blog-style content that gets syndicated in partnership with them. So it's all content that they're creating, and it's things that are augmenting their streams. So as a result, their social media numbers increase, the engagement that they're getting on Facebook and Twitter and on their site obviously goes up massively. And then what we'll do is one of two things. Either we'll sell advertising inventory on the site and then across those streams. And then the other thing that we'll do more on the larger brand campaigns is working directly with the brands and their creative agencies and media buyers, and typically it's then them coming to us with their creative concepts. So one of the challenges that we faced so much when we were doing Lonely Girl and Kate Modern was how do we serve both of those masters? Like, we were constantly trying to tell our story, but then we had to figure out how the hell are we integrating Pantene into this video. Now it's pretty cleanly separated. So the brand will come to us like crafted for Philly cream cheese, and then we can say, okay, we have these people that we work with, Paula Deen in that case, and then we'll just come up with a concept that's going to work for the brand. It's not necessarily like the creative thing that Paula wanted to do, it's the creative thing that the brand wanted to do, and then with the talent we're working to create.
Right, so you get a brief, and then you ideate on the brief.
Yeah, so those are very brand driven, but then on the other side, it's working with the talent like Lauren or Lauren Conrad we work with. So saying, okay, what do you want for your site and for your Twitter and for your Facebook, and that's just purely driven by the talent's creative vision. And so by balancing those two different objectives, literally structurally, there's two different business units in the company, but the money can flow between the two of us.
Right. So will.i.am is very interested in kids and education, science and technology and engineering and math, and he produced a TV special around the finals of the U.S. first high school robotics competition. What happened was he went there and he saw it and he said, and they were like, how can you help us draw more attention to this and create more awareness for it? He said, well, it's a bunch of nerdy high school kids making robots, He said it's not, it's a tough, well, he said, but if the Black Eyed Peas can play the Super Bowl, you need a halftime show. Right? You want to bring in a new audience, you need a halftime show. So he put on a concert at the finals of the U.S. first robotics competition. He got Willow Smith and the Black Eyed Peas, and he literally produced the concert himself. It was the last night of the finals, and then he hired a film crew on his own nickel, and he brought them in, and he filmed not only the finals, but he also did sort of like that movie about the spelling bee. What was it called?
Spelling bee?
No. No, not the feature, the documentary about the spelling bee. I can't remember what it's called. Spellbound, right? And he went and did backstories on sort of some of the teams that they expected to do really well. And he cut it into a 90-minute, and then he ended up cutting it down to an hour special. And he went to ABC, and they were not interested in buying the special, so he bought the time. And he bought a Sunday night at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, August 14th. He bought the time on ABC, and then he went to all of the sponsors of the U.S. first robotics competition, which is Dean Kamen's thing. It's actually a big deal. And he went to, Boeing and Intel and companies he had a relationship with, companies he didn't. And he said, if you were going to buy this time from the network, it would be $50,000. So I want $125,000 because here's what it cost me to produce the show. And he literally sold 22 spots at $1.25 a piece for what would have cost them $50,000 if they wanted them, right? And AOL came in, and I mean, he walked up to the CEO of AOL, Tim Armstrong, when he was in Paris for a concert. He ran into Tim at the ambassador's residence, and he walked over to him and sold him a spot. Right? I mean, literally just walked over. He's almost sold him 2 spots, but he literally walked over and said, "They're $125,000, and I need you to buy one." And the guy was like, "Okay," and he sold 2 spots to GE, and Intel did an integration for a lot of money, and ultimately he created a TV special. ABC didn't market it at all. They didn't promote it. They didn't do anything. Right? They held on to their time, to promote their own shows, but they didn't promote the show because they didn't own the show. So he did something extraordinary with his Twitter followers, and he's not Britney Spears. He doesn't have 6 million or 10 million or whatever. Not actually. But what he did was, which I thought was very, he sat down and he wrote really clever tweets and sent them to people who have enormous Twitter followers to provoke them to respond. So he sent a tweet to Reggie Bush and said, "You might be fast, but my robot's faster. Check it out." And then had a link, right? And then Reggie responded, and then all of his followers saw it. He created, by doing this to Britney Spears and Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake and Ellen DeGeneres, he created 300 million impressions in less than a week. And the show had the 2nd highest audience of the night.
Did it with no advertising, just by using Twitter. So in summary, what Miles and Ken are saying is that these celebs and brands are more focused on the objective and delivering the message versus so much choosing to look at the celebrity power. They were definitely sure to pick the right partners so that they could cross-market those audiences as well. Thanks for joining me today on Hollywood Today magazine, featuring $1 Million Glampreneurs. For a short review on Social Media Week LA, be sure to check back for more segments.